Durkl's a clothing line. I started about 5 years ago. Started it very modestly, a couple $100s in my pocket. I was kind of challenging myself to see if I could actually do it. And it kind of spiraled out of control, which is, you know, good.
Drop a load on 'em.
So I wouldn't say that really we're doing something extraordinary. And it's more of the vibe has kind of collected to Durkl.
24/7
Okay.
is kind of the hidden message for all those sharp tools out there. We're in 2047, from the future. Established when doesn't make any difference, you know, you can be from whenever, whoever, however.
We've just kind of become a focal point of creativity, whether you're a graffiti writer, a skateboarder, a hip-hop artist, whatever.
A lot of our brand goes back to kind of making fun of a lot of the stuff that kind of, the building blocks of the fashion industry. I think people never take a step back and see how silly it is, really. So a lot of what makes up Durkl is kind of making fun of the whole industry as it is. You know, everyone's established in whatever year. It's kind of a mark you put on your stuff. Established 1975, whatever. It kind of dawned on us that, you know, just designing clothes and selling clothes day to day is not really I mean, I guess it's the main focus, but it's just one of two things we do, and I think the other half of the business is kind of centered around maybe shining a light on this town.
The last P, well, that's not that simple. It's sort of like a, well, another way to call a cat a kitten. There's 5 little letters that are missing, yeah. You get it on occasion if the other party isn't gaming. It seems I gotta start to explain it. Bust it. You ever had a girl that met up?
Kind of the tipping point was when we went out to Vegas and kind of showed the world at a trade show. I think we did Agenda trade show. Went really well. We kind of, you know, spread ourselves all over the world. And about a year ago, we kind of stopped, regrouped, and decided that, you know, DC is kind of where we're from. We're doing it here. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. There's a lot of people that deserve an opportunity. Why not just kind of bring it back to where we started and actually, instead of having this be a means to an end, use it as, you know, use it as kind of who we are, because it is. So, I mean, we do well internationally. We sell, you know, Japan, Australia, Europe, Canada, Mexico.
On a nice hello, figured her name and number, then left feeling real mellow. You get home late today, she's what you wanna know about. Do you call up and it's a girlfriend's or a cousin's house? It's not a front, a F to the R to the O to the N to the T. It's just a boyfriend's at a house.
The fact of the matter is there are creative people here, and there is lots of creative industry here. It's just not what the media and kind of what the focus is put on.
But kind of what we're doing is not, it's not novel. It's not something completely, I don't know, it's not brand new. What we're trying to do is raise awareness to what we're doing, but everyone else in the community is doing the same kind of thing. I mean, if you're an independent artist, you know, whether it may be music, you know, painting, stuff like that. I mean, we throw art shows, we throw, you know, music events, stuff like that. We're kind of trying to, I guess a little bit of what we do is on a mission to kind of raise the awareness of this town.
Okay.
I think we kind of realized that we were doing it accidentally about a year ago, and now we're trying to kind of go with that. I think everyone deserves, you know, a lot of credit from here. And you want to know what? You know, our customer base is not one demographic, and I think the world is ready for it, and that's kind of what is happening. And I think DC might be a little bit behind, but certainly is not unwilling to accept kind of what we're offering and kind of the whole concept of that, you know, fusion, I guess, if you will.
Drop a load on 'em.
You don't have to be backed by some machine to actually be, and I think streetwear has done a really good job kind of in globalizing that. I mean, and I think that music and everything that we do here also kind of, you know, is taking the same route. Well, it's fun. funny. I actually have no point of view to design women's clothes. I have no idea. I could never do it. I think women's designers are in a whole different league. I mean, a lot of brands kind of in our category feel that there's a gap there, so they launch a women's line, which is men's t-shirt graphics on a women's cut shirt. It's like, that's just they do a pretty good job, but you know, it's kind of a half-assed answer. And I think that, you know, it makes them enough money to where they don't really care in the end. But if we're gonna launch a women's line, it's gonna be a women's line. Where do you see us? Where are we going?
You know, hopefully we're going big. You know, obviously that's everyone's dream, but I think that the clothes are diverse enough and the branding is like kind of right on, and we've been working real hard at distribution and kind of the business end of things. And I mean, we want to sell in every country in the world. We want to sell in every city in America. We want to basically, you know, have Durkl be like Stussy or like Fucked or like some of these brands that have kind of stood the test of time. Fresh Jive, like, you know, guys who basically got in it before it was streetwear, which streetwear is just a made-up word for independent fashion labels. And you know what? Like, that's what it's really about. It's about doing what you like and using the medium of clothing to kind of express that.
Come a long way since we started.
Drop a load on 'em.
Washington Chiefs, okay? Frank 151 all day.
All day.
All day. All day.